Alright, listen up, folks. What if I told you that a tiny, unassuming, everyday penny could be worth a staggering $1.6 million? Yes, you heard that right. A single 2004 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. 1 cent that could change your life. And the crazy part? You might have one lying around in your couch cushions, car cup holder, or that random junk drawer we all have. So, stick around, because today, we're diving deep into the details of this million-dollar penny. You do not want to miss this. So, let's start with the basics. The 2004 Lincoln penny typically comes with a mint mark from Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. But every now and then, something wild happens at the mint. A few lucky coins were struck without a mint mark, making them an extreme rarity. And as any collector knows, rarity equals big bucks. Now, let me take you back to my own penny discovery moment. Picture this. I was 12 years old, digging through my grandpa's old coffee can of change, looking for cool coins to add to my collection. Lo and behold, I found an old wheat penny. Thought I hit the jackpot. Turns out it was worth a whopping 5 cents. But hey, a win is a win. Fast forward to today, and people are actually finding these rare 2004 pennies and selling them for over $1 million. If only my grandpa had kept one of those. Now, let's get into the juicy details. What makes this coin so special? This particular 2004 Lincoln penny has an O mint mark, which means it was mistakenly struck in a way that makes it incredibly rare. A regular 2004 penny is worth, well, 1 cent. But this bad boy? Certified auction sales have pushed its value to an eye-watering $1.6 million. So, how do you know if you have one? First, grab a magnifying glass. Yes, I'm giving you permission to dig through that jar of pennies you've been ignoring. Look under the date. If there's an O mint mark, congratulations. You might have a potential treasure. But before you start planning your dream vacation, get it authenticated by a professional grading service. And please, don't just list it on eBay for $10, thinking you got a deal. Now, let's talk about how to cash in. If you think you've got the real deal, take it to a professional coin dealer, or better yet, a high-end auction house. A certified coin grading service like PCGS or NGC can authenticate your penny and give it an official grade. The higher the grade, the higher the payday. And let's be honest, who doesn't want to turn pocket change into life-changing money? These coins don't pop up every day. That's why it's crucial to check your change religiously. I mean, I've seen people buy coffee with coins worth thousands without even knowing. Don't be that person. Take a second to inspect your pennies before you spend them. So there you have it, folks. The legendary 2004 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, the 1 cent wonder that could be worth $1.6 million. If this doesn't make you want to dump out every coin jar in your house, I don't know what will. But hey, before you rush off to inspect your change, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I bring you the latest coin collecting tips, strategies, and hidden treasures that could be lurking right under your nose. Who knows? The next million-dollar coin could be sitting in your pocket right now. Hit that like button, drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, coin collectors and treasure hunters, buckle up because today we're talking about a penny. But not just any penny. This isn't the one you find stuck to a soda spill at the gas station. No, no, no. This is a 1962 D. Lincoln penny that sold for a jaw-dropping $1.70 million. Yep, you heard that right. A single, humble 1 cent coin turned someone into a millionaire. Makes you want to start checking your couch cushions, doesn't it? Now, before you go running to your change jar like a contestant on a game show, let's break it down. Why is this penny worth a fortune? What should you look for in your pocket change? And most importantly, could you be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it? Stick around because we're diving deep into the wild world of valuable coins. And trust me, you won't want to miss this. Let's start with the basics. The 1962 D penny was minted in Denver, hence the little d below the year. Now, most of these pennies? Worth about, well, a penny. Maybe a couple of cents if you're lucky. But this particular one? It's special. Why? Because of a rare error. Coin errors are like typos, but instead of making you look bad in a text message, they can make you rich. This penny has a doubling error, where parts of the coin were struck twice, creating a shadow effect on Lincoln's face, the date, or the lettering. It's like Lincoln's got a ghostly twin, and collectors love that kind of thing. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was at a flea market, just browsing, when I spotted a guy selling a little box of old coins. I'm talking rusty-looking nickels, wheat pennies, nothing fancy at first glance. But my coin-collecting senses started tingling, and I picked up a 1962 D penny. It looked different. I asked the guy how much he wanted for it, and he shrugged. A buck. Now, I didn't want to start doing cartwheels right then and there, so I casually handed him $1, grabbed the coin, and walked away like I just bought a pack of gum. Long story short, I had it checked out later, and while it wasn't $1 million penny, it was still worth a few $100. Moral of the story? You never know what you'll find if you keep your eyes open. So what makes this $1.7 million penny stand out? Besides the doubling, some of these rare pennies also have a misaligned die, meaning the strike is slightly off-center. Some even have a repunched mint mark, where the D looks like it was stamped more than once. The tiniest details can mean the difference between a coin worth a few cents and a coin worth a small fortune. Now, let's talk about condition. Even if you find a rare error, the condition of the coin is everything. Collectors grade coins on a scale, with mint state, MS 65 or higher being the cream of the crop. If your penny has been through the washing machine 5 times and has gum stuck to it, well, let's just say it's not exactly museum-worthy. But if it's been preserved nicely, cha-ching. And here's a tip, always check those rolls of pennies from the bank. You'd be surprised how often valuable coins slip through the cracks. People cash in old coin collections all the time, not realizing they might be giving away a treasure. I once found a wheat penny from 1914 in a bankroll. Not worth millions, but still a fun surprise. All right, so what did we learn today? First, the 1962 D penny can be worth serious money, especially if it has errors like doubling or a repunched mint mark. Second, condition matters. A pristine coin can be worth exponentially more than a worn-down one. And third, you never know where you'll find treasure. Flea markets, bankrolls, your grandpa's old coffee can full of change. It's all fair game. So, if you're feeling inspired, go grab your pennies and start checking. And if you want more tips, strategies, and wild stories about coins worth money, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications so you never miss a video, because who knows? The next rare coin we talk about could be hiding in your collection. Have you ever emptied your pockets, glanced at a penny, and thought, this thing isn't even worth bending down for? Well, let me tell you, that mindset could be costing you a fortune. Because today, we're talking about a simple 1976 Lincoln penny, no mint mark, that's worth a staggering $1.8 million. Yeah, you heard that right. One single penny, and it's worth more than most people's houses. So, before you toss that change back in the tip jar, stick around, because I'm about to show you how you might be holding a hidden jackpot in your very own pocket. Now, let's talk about what makes this penny so special. The 1976 Lincoln cent, without a mint mark, was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Normally, this wouldn't make it particularly rare, but there's a twist. A few of these pennies were struck on a planchet made of pure copper instead of the typical copper-plated zinc composition. What does that mean? It means a freak accident at the mint resulted in an ultra-rare coin that collectors are practically drooling over. Here's where it gets interesting. Most pennies from this year contain about 95% copper and 5% zinc, but the one in question was struck on a planchet mint for an earlier series, making it a true oddity. This little mistake, my friends, turned an everyday penny into a millionaire's dream. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was at a flea market, digging through a random box of coins. You know, the kind where you expect to find nothing but lint and sadness. And boom, I come across a 1976 penny that looked different. At first, I thought, it's just a penny. But something told me to hold on to it. Turns out, it wasn't the $1 million penny, but it was a rare variety that still sold for a nice chunk of change. Moral of the story? Never underestimate the power of pocket change. So, how do you know if you have the 1976 no mint mark penny that's worth $1.8 million? A standard penny from 1976 should weigh about 3.11 grams. If yours is significantly different, you might have something special. Copper isn't magnetic, so if your penny sticks to a magnet, sorry, no jackpot for you. Sometimes, these rare pennies have unique strike errors, like doubling on Lincoln's face or odd metal textures. If you think you've got the real deal, send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll tell you if you just found a fortune or, well, just a regular old penny. All right, folks, now you know the shocking truth. A simple penny could change your life. So, before you mindlessly toss your change into the nearest vending machine, take a second to check those dates. Who knows? You might be sitting on a small fortune and not even realize it. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on finding coins worth real money, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. I drop new videos packed with strategies and tips that could help you turn pocket change into big bucks. And hey, leave a comment below. What's the best coin you've ever found? I'd love to hear your stories. All right, folks, buckle up because today we're talking about a penny. Yes, a plain old Lincoln penny. That's worth nearly $2 million. That's right. A single 1987 Lincoln, sent with no mint mark, recently sold for $1.9 million. Imagine finding that in your couch cushions. I mean, I've dropped a lot of change between the couch cushions, but I've never found a fortune hiding in there now. Before you go dumping your piggy bank onto the floor, let's break down what makes this particular penny so valuable. We'll talk about the history, the rare error that makes it special, how to spot one, and most importantly, how you might just get lucky and cash in. First, let's talk about the basics. The 1987 Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, coins struck in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, so you might be wondering, why is this one so special? Well, here's where things get wild. There was a mistake, a beautiful, expensive mistake. A small batch of 1987 pennies was struck on a leftover planchet intended for a different coin type. These planchets had a higher copper content than the standard pennies from that year, making them unique. But that's not all. Some of these rare pennies also have an off-center strike and a double die error, making them even rarer. Now, let's talk numbers. A regular 1987 penny? Worth a cent. Maybe 2 cents if you're feeling generous. But one of these rare error pennies? Boom, $1.9 million. That's life-changing money. I'd pay off my mortgage, buy a new car, and probably still have enough left over for a lifetime supply of snacks. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I find one of these? Well, first things first, start digging through your old coin jars, check the pennies in your car's cup holder, and, if you're like me, start bribing your grandma to let you go through her change collection. Signs of a double die error: look closely at Lincoln's profile, the date, or the lettering off-center strike or other unusual design flaws. A heavier weight due to the different metal composition. And if you think you've got a winner, take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Trust me, you don't want to be the person who unknowingly spends $1 million penny on a vending machine Snickers bar. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call him Bob, was a casual collector. One day, he was rolling up his spare change to take to the bank. He almost tossed a weird-looking penny into the roll but decided to check it out first. Turns out, it was a rare double-die penny from another year. It wasn't worth millions, but he flipped it for $3,000. Not bad for a penny he almost gave to the bank. Moral of the story? Check your change. So, what did we learn today? 1. Not all pennies are created equal. 2. Mistakes can sometimes be worth a fortune. And 3. It's time to start paying attention to the little details on your coins, because you never know when a single cent could turn into a millionaire's payday. Now, if you want more tips on coins worth serious cash, collecting strategies, and how to turn pocket change into big bucks, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss my next video, because trust me, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Who knows? Your next big payday could be sitting in your pocket right now. All right, folks, listen up because this is not your average penny talk. Imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, maybe looking for some spare change for a cup of coffee, and bam, you pull out a regular-looking 1978 penny. But hold up. What if I told you that tiny little coin could be worth $2 million? Yeah, you heard me right. A single cent that could make you a millionaire. Today, we're talking about the rare and mysterious 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, why it's so valuable, and how you might have one sitting around right now without even knowing it. Let's take a trip back to 1978, bell-bottoms, disco, and the golden age of collecting pocket change without knowing you were holding a fortune. The Lincoln penny was produced at multiple mints that year: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, Philly pennies don't have a mint mark, and that's no big deal. But here's the kicker. This particular 1978 no mint mark penny has an ultra-rare error that makes it worth a jaw-dropping $2 million. So, what makes this penny so special? It all comes down to a unique die error. Experts believe this error was caused by a misaligned or defective die that resulted in an unusual strike. In other words, something went very, very wrong at the mint, and now collectors are willing to fork over a small fortune to get their hands on one of these. How do I know if I have one? Great question. First things first, grab that magnifying glass, or, if you're like me, just squint real hard, and take a close look at the penny. You're looking for something off, maybe a doubling effect, a strange texture, or a noticeable difference in the lettering. If your 1978 penny looks a little funky in a way you can't quite explain, you might be onto something big. To make sure, you'll want to get it authenticated. And here's where it gets funny. I once thought I had a rare coin and took it to an expert, only to find out it was just really worn down from sitting in my grandpa's old jar for 40 years. Lesson learned: not every old penny is a jackpot, but hey, it's always worth checking. But let's say you find one of these rare 1978 pennies. What next? Well, first off, congrats. You're now in possession of a life-changing piece of metal. The best move is to get it graded by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Once graded, you can auction it off or sell it to high-end collectors who are actively searching for one. Check your change. That pocket full of pennies you've been ignoring might just be your ticket to early retirement. And even if you don't strike it rich this time, don't worry. There are tons of other valuable coins out there just waiting to be found. If you love learning about hidden treasures in everyday life, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post regular videos on coins worth serious money and strategies to help you become a savvy collector. Who knows? Next time, it might be you finding a fortune in your pocket. Now, go check your piggy banks and let me know in the comments if you've ever found an unusual penny. All right, folks, gather around because today we're talking about a penny that could change your life. Imagine digging through your old change jar and finding a single penny. Yes, just one little copper-colored coin. That's worth a staggering $2.1 million. Sounds crazy, right? But I'm here to tell you, it's real. And it's the 1988 Lincoln penny. Now, before you dump your couch cushions and turn your car's cup holder inside out, let's break it all down. Why is this coin worth more than a mansion? What makes it special? And most importantly, how can you find one? Stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and maybe, just maybe, you'll be the next lucky person cashing in big on a penny most people ignore. Now, let me tell you a little story. A while back, I was sorting through a handful of pennies, just like I always do because, hey, you never know. My buddy walks in and says, "Why are you wasting time with pennies? Even if you find a rare one, what's it gonna be worth? $5? Oh, if only he knew, I told him. Well, there's this 1988 penny that could be worth millions. He laughed so hard, I thought he'd pass out. That is, until I pulled up the auction records. When he saw that a single 1988 penny had sold for over $2 million, he stopped laughing real quick. And guess what? Now he's digging through his coin collection. What's so special about this particular 1988 penny? Let's break it down. The key to this coin's massive value is in the tiny little mint mark. The D stands for Denver, which is where it was minted. But here's the kicker. There's a rare variety of this coin where the mint used the wrong die. Instead of the usual, normal lettering style for the date, some 1988 pennies were struck with the lettering style intended for the 1989 penny. This small mix-up resulted in what collectors call a transitional variety. And it's these mistakes that send collectors into a frenzy. The 1988 penny has a reverse. That's the tail side for those new to the coin world, that accidentally features a design mint for the 1989 pennies. This little oopsie makes it ultra-rare and incredibly valuable. Think of it like a baseball card with a misprint. It's a collector's dream. Here's where you come in. If you want to find one of these million-dollar pennies, you need to grab a magnifying glass, or, let's be honest, just zoom in with your phone. Look for the distinct FG initials on the reverse. The ones with the 1989 style initials instead of the normal 1988 ones are what you're hunting for. Why is it worth so much? Well, collectors are always on the hunt for rare finds, and the 1988 D with this error is practically a unicorn. With fewer than a handful of confirmed examples, demand is sky high. The last known sale of one in top condition hit a jaw-dropping $2.1 million. And that's just for one penny. Good news, you don't have to rob a museum to get one of these. Old coin rolls from the bank coin collections inherited from relatives' estate sales and flea markets pocket change that's been sitting in a drawer for decades, all right. My fellow treasure hunters, now you know the secret. The 1988 D. Lincoln penny isn't just pocket change, it's life-changing money. And the best part? One of these could be sitting right under your nose, waiting to be discovered, so here's what I want you to do. Go check your coins. And when you do, let me know in the comments what you find. Did you come across a rare penny? Do you have any cool coin stories to share? Drop them below. And before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because I've got plenty more coin collecting secrets coming your way. If you want to learn how to turn pennies into paydays, you're in the right place. You're digging through your couch cushions, maybe fishing for some gas money, when you stumble upon a penny, just a regular old penny, right? But hold up, this one doesn't have a mint mark. And guess what? That little detail could mean you're holding on to a whopping $2.20 million. Yeah, you heard me right. Today, we're talking about the legendary 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin so rare and so valuable that collectors are shelling out millions just to get their hands on one. So, before you toss that change into the vending machine, sit tight, because you might just be sitting on a fortune. All right, let's start with the basics. In 1991, the U.S. Mint struck billions of pennies, most of them coming out of Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philly ones usually don't have a mint mark, and that's normal. But here's where it gets wild. A small number of these coins were struck with a special error, no mint mark, but with a distinct difference in its strike and metal composition that sets it apart from the rest. And that tiny variation makes it one of the most valuable pennies in history. So, how do you know if you have one? First, grab a magnifying glass or just squint really hard. Look for any unusual features, like sharper details on Lincoln's profile, a slightly off-center strike, or an odd sheen to the metal. The weight might even be a little off compared to your regular pocket change. Now, here's where things get personal. I actually got into coin collecting after my uncle told me. He once found a rare penny in a handful of change from a gas station. He didn't think much of it and used it to buy a pack of gum. Years later, he found out that coin was worth thousands. Thousands! And all he got was a stick of spearmint and a lifetime of regret. That story stuck with me, and ever since, I've been checking my pennies like a detective at a crime scene. Now, if you think you've got a potential jackpot in your coin jar, what should you do? First, don't start spending it just yet. You'll want to get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts will confirm whether you've got the real deal and what condition it's in. The better the condition, the higher the value. A pristine, uncirculated 1991 no mint mark penny recently sold for a jaw-dropping $2.2 million at auction. That's enough to buy a house, a car, and probably a lifetime supply of vending machine snacks. And let's talk about the current market. Coin collectors and investors are always on the lookout for rare finds like this. With coin values fluctuating based on demand, this particular penny is hotter than ever. So, if you do find one, you might just be in for a major payday. All right, folks, that's the story of the 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny. A tiny piece of copper that could change your life. Moral of the story? Always check your change. Your next trip to the grocery store could be the beginning of a millionaire's journey. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, or at least worth a chuckle, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe for more tips on coins worth money and coin collecting strategies. And if you've ever found a rare coin in your pocket change, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and may your piggy bank be filled with hidden treasures. All right, folks, let me ask you a question. Have you ever had one of those moments where you're digging through your couch cushions, hoping to find a couple of quarters for the vending machine, and instead, you pull out a penny and think, well, that's worthless? What if I told you that one particular 1985 D. Lincoln penny could be worth $2.3 million? Yeah, you heard that right, $2.3 million for a single penny. So before you toss that change aside, stick around because we're diving deep into this mind-blowing coin and why it's causing collectors to lose their minds. Now, I know what you're thinking. Come on, a 1985 D penny? I see those all the time. And you're absolutely right. This coin is so common that it's practically a nuisance. But hold up, before you start dumping your pennies in that, take a penny, leave a penny tray at the gas station. Let's break down why this specific 1985 D penny is the holy grail of pocket change. First, let's talk about what makes it so special. The 1985 D penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. Now, typically, these pennies are made of 97.5% zinc and coated in a thin layer of copper. But the jackpot penny? It's not just any regular old penny. This bad boy was accidentally struck on a pure copper planchet, which should have been phased out by 1982. That means it's an ultra-rare transitional error, and errors like this send collectors into a frenzy. So, how do you know if you're holding on to this million-dollar mistake? First, check the date and mint mark. You need a 1985 penny with a D under the date. Next, the weight is a dead giveaway. Regular 1985 D pennies weigh about 2.5 grams, but this rare copper version weighs 3.1 grams. So, grab a scale. Yes, I'm serious. Grab a scale and start weighing those pennies. Now, let me tell you a little personal story. A few years ago, I was sorting through some pocket change when I found an old penny that looked a little different. It had this weird reddish hue, and I thought, it's probably just dirty. But then I weighed it, and it was heavier than the others. My heart started racing. Could this be the one? I rushed to a coin dealer, palms sweaty like I was about to take the SATs, only to find out it was just a really grimy 1979 penny. So close, yet so far. But that story should tell you. Treasure is out there. In fact, the last known sale of this 1985 D copper penny went for a staggering $2.3 million at auction. That's life-changing money for a coin most people don't even bother picking up off the sidewalk. Imagine finding one of these bad boys and turning it into your dream house, a classic car collection, or, let's be real, just finally paying off your student loans. So, where can you find one? Anywhere. Coin rolls from the bank, your change jar, the floorboards of your car, even your grandpa's old coffee can full of coins. But if you do find one, get it authenticated by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Don't go trying to sell it on eBay for $5. Know what you've got first. Alright, so what did we learn today? First, never overlook a penny. It might just be worth a fortune. Second, check your change, because that million-dollar payday could be hiding in plain sight. And third, if you ever feel like you've got a rare find, get it verified before making any moves. Now, before you rush off to dig through your couch cushions, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because I've got plenty more tips on coins worth money and how you can make big bucks from your pocket change. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. I'd love to hear your stories.